to the show. You know where you are, the Expert Talk, 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And it's that time of the month. It's that time for us to talk about real estate with my buddy, my sister, the Yay Lady. And we're going to have Jennifer Hammond be right here. We're going to talk to the new home buyers, I think, this time. Because, hey, it's almost spring. I know you're thinking about a new house. I'm thinking about a new house. All right, so sit right there. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
Hey, I have a quick question for you. Do you want a professional agency to handle all your video creation, syndication, and monetization needs? Here at Melrose 11, we specialize in getting you the results you need to help you grow your business by generating new leads, driving more traffic, and closing more sales without breaking your bank. We create animated explainer videos, social teasers, catchy intros, full HD commercials, and even viewer interactive videos. So, if you're looking to elevate your brand, or attract more leads, generate more sales, increase traffic, or build up more exposure for your business, then you've definitely come to the right place. Our professional team will develop your video campaigns at an affordable price, with our fast turnaround times, and a quality of work that can't be beat. We look forward to working with you.
All right. If you had a sad moment today, let that go because the Yay Lady is here. My good buddy and expert in real estate, Jennifer Hammond, is out there. What's going on, Jennifer?
Yeah!
Told ya. You can't be sad when Jennifer's around. It just is impossible to be sad. All right, you're sitting by the water. I know some places are still a little chilly because it's March. But guys, I mean, it's March. We're about to go into spring, and we got Jennifer here to talk about what exactly do you do if you're a new home buyer and want to buy a first house?
So as a first-time home buyer, there is, again, as you know, I love that number 17. There are 17 things that you should know as a first-time home buyer. And one of them is, think about this, it's the money. Most of the time, the thing that prevents people from taking that next step is the money. So what if, just imagine someone was throwing money at you, and you didn't have to worry about a down payment. You didn't have to worry about closing costs. You didn't have to worry about any of that. There were different programs that you could get into, and would that take away all of the fear and the scariness of buying your first home?
Okay, so you've got another list of 17. We're going to get into what 17 means at some point. But you've got another list of 17. And it's teaching people who want to be new home buyers the different things they need to know before they go out and buy their first home. Did I get that right?
You got it. And it's free, and it's on your link, tigodirect.com.
All right, you guys, you heard her. Go to tigodirect.com, look for that happy face, and there'll be the link for this month's information from Jennifer. Just go follow the link, and she'll help you figure out how to buy that new home. But for right now, we're going to talk about, all right, Jennifer, what's the first thing you need to know before you go out there to buy your first new home?
So the first thing is you need to pick a real estate agent who specializes in first-time home buyers. And we talked about, remember last month, we talked about real estate agents who they could specialize in commercial property, they could specialize in selling land, they could specialize in all sorts of different things, but there are definitely real estate agents who specialize in first-time home buyers, and they love helping first-time home buyers. So the first thing you need to do is find a real estate agent who wants to help you as a first-time home buyer.
Okay, most people, I watch a lot of real estate stuff. You've got me doing real estate stuff now. I'm getting addicted to it now. This is amazing. But you and I talk a lot about this. People go into, especially to me, because I know I did it the first time I bought my first home. I had a big grand idea of all the things I was going to get into this new starter home that was way outside of my budget. And I thought, what the heck? How do you make a realistic list of what you should look for in a new home?
So,
First
and
time.
that is part of the 17 questions that I put
Ah,
together in there, those 17 aspects for a first-time home buyer, because you need to decide what are the deal breakers and what are the things that you can live without. Because we all have our castle. You know, what is
mm-hmm.
your dream home? Is it living on the water like me sitting here? This is not a virtual background. This is reality. Do you want a home like this? Do you want to be right on the water? Or is it that you just always wanted to have a location inside a city like New York City or Chicago or LA? Is it the location inside the city? So you need to start deciding, is parking an actual deal breaker for you? Because I remember
Ah,
my first place, I was like, well, I want a fireplace because I grew up in Key West and I never had a fireplace and I did not get a fireplace.
in Florida? Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Not in
But
my
I do
first
have
home.
a question for you though. People go and rent. You know, they get married, they have kids, their lives are growing, and then they decide they want to buy. But now Junior is in a school district that they love. Can they get a new home in that school district? Or should they be
Yes.
looking, projecting ahead? Hey, we're renting right now, but before we start school for him, we should find a neighborhood where we want to buy later. Because that
And we see
seems to be something that happens, you know?
Yeah, that's a very important. Thank you for asking that question, Tigo, because it is such an important thing is to be thinking about what is your next 5 years, your next 10 years. And look, when you're going into a property, you should also be looking at the exit strategy of what are you going to do with that property? Is it a property that you'll be renting it again, or is it a property that you want to keep for 20, 30 years and you want all your kids and their kids to come back and have Christmases and holidays in this
Hmm.
particular property? Or is it one, again, if you're renting right now, what does your next one look like? Does it need to be inside a school district? We have so many amazing things now, but you also have to remember, Tigo, we didn't talk a lot about this, but it is really important to understand needs have changed so much because of the pandemic. So many people
Right.
are homeschooling, working at home, and the school district that they used to love, they may not love so much anymore. So they have to be
Ah,
very interested in what is important to them now, because again, who could have predicted this pandemic? Who could have predicted that my housing needs would change so dramatically and my schooling needs might change so dramatically? People could have never predicted that, and that's part of choosing the right home for you. And it's a new home for you, whether you're a first time home buyer or, even like in the Washington D.C. area, a lot of times first time home buying only means that you have not bought in Washington D.C. in 1 year. So it's defined
oh, wow.
differently in each place, and you have to think about that because there are grants. That's why I said money, 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 money. There are so many different pots of money that you can choose from, and that's one of the reasons I just love putting together resources for people because they don't understand how many resources are out there, including you need to be looking at the schools. You also need to look at the one thing nobody wants to talk about. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, I'm waiting. What is it?
Child molesters. They're
Oh,
registered all
man.
over. I know
Never
it's not
thought
a
about that.
conversation anybody wants to talk
Yeah.
about, but just
Yeah,
like
definitely you
crime.
want to know that, especially if you have small children. You don't want to be moving
Yep.
into a neighborhood where somebody's registered. I never even thought about that. We should probably do an episode somewhere down the road
Yep.
where we just talk about how you can find those information. But in your resources that we're going to put on Tigo Direct, do you have a link or something that people can
I
check?
I do. Every state is different, so that's why we should do a whole show on it. Because like
Okay.
in the state of Virginia, it's called Megan's Law, and you go there. Washington D.C., it's different. Every state, it's different. But we should do a whole show on it because it's also different the way that the categories are, and it's a taboo subject that people don't like to talk about, but it is a subject that is
You got to
important.
worry about the little ones, man. You can't just let the little ones be out there. And, kids are now, they've been in the house so long that before COVID hit, my grandkids would say, what did I do wrong when I tell them to go outside and play? Now, because of COVID, they're begging to go outside and play. So you want to make sure they're safe in a neighborhood where they can go out. If you do have to, go in the house to get a phone call or something like that, you're not worried about your kids. That's a major resource. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody, go to tigodirect.com, look for Jennifer, the Yay Ladies happy picture, and the resources for today's show will be listed below. Now, Alan's already put up the 2-minute warning. So before we get out of here, we got to tell people because they're asking where else they can find out information. Jennifer has a show that is on podnation.tv with the Tigo. So go check out Jennifer's show because she interviews experts. She interviews real estate people. She has some of the funnest people on there. And I've been on a couple of times here and there. You know what I'm saying? So tell them everybody what the name of your show is and where they can find it, of course, on podnation.tv, but where else they can find it.
So Jennifer J. Hammond podcast. So you put the J in the middle. So Jennifer J. Hammond podcast. So that's anywhere. Like if you want to go listen to Spotify or you look at Apple, listen to Apple Music, or you go to the YouTube channel, Jennifer J. Hammond podcast on YouTube. It's all over the place. And of course, Pod Nation. Yay!
Well, I thank you, my friend, for hanging out again with us this month. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next month. It'll be April. Everybody will be warm, and we won't get hate mail about the weather.
Yay!
Hey, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.